to 29. Let's just focus on engineering in front of the high school entrances. That's a lot smaller scope. But for budget purposes, I went bigger than smaller. So, and I'm not ignorant to the fact that Monty mentioned a cut. I mean, that is maybe not the preferred option, but there's an option too, is that we just cut projects out of the 5-year plan. But I think we've been making great progress on our road and bridge infrastructure. I don't know if that's in anybody's best interest to do that at this point either.
Yeah, but we can also keep moving projects further down the list too, though, Chris. So instead of having a big year in 3, we could have a little bigger year in 4.
That's
Take
true.
some of that off of 3 and
Well,
throw
we've
it
got,
into 4.
12 years left on the local option sales tax list. We're already halfway through it.
Yeah, at this pace, even if we didn't add any projects, we could potentially have all those projects funded before the sunset date. Because, we've had it in place 5 years now. So, and we're more than halfway completed with that list of projects.
And we're confident we can use local option sales tax dollars for engineering.
It is occurring now.
Okay.
So I hope I didn't implicate any of my neighbors. But no.
Well, you didn't list any names anyway, so that was good.
That's where I learned it, that it is, others are doing that. So
I want to make a comment that for 1.3 million, how many employees could we hire to do all of this in-house? That's my biggest thing, is that, or possibly just wages. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's a lot of money
We've
that we're spending for outside that we could possibly, I don't know,
keep in-house.
keep in-house.
This has always come up every year since I've been a commissioner too, and we've always tried to figure out how to get good quality technicians too on staff and keep them.
I mean, what would it cost to hire a bridge consultant that actually works for the county?
good. I forgot that I had that. Good question. I forgot that I had this attachment in the agenda item. So this is basically was my policy request. So it's all the projects in the next 4 or 5 years that I would anticipate that we'd have some engineering costs in 2026. I actually anticipated that maybe we would have a little bit of engineering costs of the roundabout next year. At the time of the budget, wasn't confident that we'd be able to do that in-house. We'd have a little bit of engineering to pay on the County Road 43 construction project now. Bridges specifically, like these 12 bridges, anticipating about $15,000 of expense for those remaining in 2026, even though we're doing some of the design here now. County Road 56, that would be complete design of that bridge in 2026 for a 2027 construction. That cost about $50,000 to have that bridge design. CASA 1 construction. In our 5-year plan, we have County Road 80 listed as a reconstruction. That's that portion from Golden Spike down to Wapakata Road, the next part of the CASA 29 extension. Engineering costs completely could be upwards of $400,000. I'm anticipating if we get started with that next year, a quarter of that cost would be incurred in 2026. Here we go. Here's the 12 and 13 replacement. To have a bridge inspector, a certified new bridge construction inspector on site is about $150,000 per bridge. This is what we were quoted this current year. Now, I think we've gained some efficiencies because, once again, we tied those projects together. We have got a really good contractor. The inspector works on one bridge, and then when he goes with the contractor, they go to the other bridge. So they're not working on both bridges at the same time. And so I'm confident that our consultant costs are going to be under what we were estimated because they happen concurrently, not consecutively. You didn't inspect one bridge and then go to the other. But for budget purposes, once again, if these were two different inspectors, it could be upwards of $150,000 per bridge to inspect the construction of those bridges. And I respect the question too about hiring. If we could hire them, I think that's the challenge right now is finding quality candidates. Get out there. We could add positions, increase the pay. They're just not, the market's not there as it was 10 years ago. And the technicians that we have now are great, high-quality people. But we knew when we hired them that because of this career progression, we hired them at the low end of the career progression, anticipating that it would take multiple years to get them there. So
Because at this point, they're not qualified to do bridge inspections.
that's correct, yeah.
Chris, do we ever foresee, Mr. Chair, do we ever foresee a point where those folks should actually do the design work in-house on a bridge?
Design, bridges, maybe not, because the next 5 years, we have a crop of like 6 bridges, and then we may not have a new bridge construction for 15 years after that. We're in the history of time, we're in a section where the late 60s, they were building quite a few bridges in this county, and so they've aged out and they're deteriorating. So we'll replace these bridges, and then there wasn't a new bridge built in Benton County until the 80s. So that's why I say we got another 15-year span before we hit another round of 5 to 6 bridges that were built around the same time and need to be replaced. So it's one of those things that, like, at least for bridge design, you'll have peaks and valleys. So we're at a peak right now. We'll soon go into a valley where any box or bridges replaced would be box culverts that we would design most of that in-house and inspect that in-house.
Well, it certainly is a quandary because it's either levy money or we're going to burn through local option sales tax dollars and probably get less projects done.
I think we're at the point that we have to use local option sales tax because we already did the preliminary.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Well, and it probably wouldn't have flew in the,
No,
Preliminary.
it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. So we need a consensus on how to proceed for the next 2 years or the next 5 years. I mean,
Today was a discussion. Maybe it's something that's best suited as a cow. That could be an option too if you want to consider looking at a cow. So
yeah, I would like to have both commissioners here,
yeah, exactly, full board.
yeah.
What's your timeline, Chris? Time to have a cow and get some good discussion going, or?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to hire any additional outside consulting until something. So we'll just
Mr.
be
Chair.
patient.
Monty,
A question. So, Chris, anything that you contemplated requires an amendment to the authorizing resolution at this point?
Of the 5-year plan,
No. The sales tax resolution, does anything you contemplated here require a revision to that resolution?
possibly that would be the only thing. Is if so.
I guess what I'm trying to get to is ultimately to make this happen, what formal action is required of the county board
Yeah.
at some point?
Well, okay. I guess at this
Yeah.
point, the only formal action I would be requesting, I guess, is to authorize using sales tax for previously identified projects.
And that won't require revision to the resolution?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. So it's more
Revision
like just a motion at some point to say, hey, yeah, Chris, you can use it on design.
But
Okay.
with that said, I think we better have a full board together to have a committee of the whole, so we understand how that's gonna work.
And I would have to agree.
So then, Mr. Chair, we could set that date at the end of the meeting then.
Yep.
Hopefully, the other two commissioners will be able to make it work.
Yeah. The resolution would need to be revised if there was additional projects you want to. And it's quite honest, there's engineers across the state I've talked to that they basically put every project on their sales tax resolution, and the board still reserves the right that when it comes time to actually deliver that project, choose whether or not to use sales tax for it. Kind of like rather have that available and not need it, as opposed to need it and not have it available.
Okay. Well, anything else, Chris?
That's all I had at this time, unless there's any questions about roads and bridges, so.
I have none, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, Kathleen Reuter, County Attorney, you're up next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Unfortunately, what brought me here today is I'm losing another attorney. She's put in her notice, and October 3rd is her last day. Understaffing in my office is causing a lot of burnout and turnover, unfortunately. And as the board is aware, we've had a vacant long-term attorney position. He's basically been gone since September of '23. That originally was supposed to be for a year. He was supposed to return September of '24. It got extended for 4 or 5 months. I believe it was in January of this year, he was back for about 3 weeks before he took another military assignment. And that is supposed to go through December, I believe, of this year. In speaking with him, he's been offered a full-time military job. He's accepted that, and the only reason he has not resigned yet is because they're waiting for congressional approval. He had told me he's 99% sure that that will happen. It's just a matter of time. So because I am going to be trying to fill the new vacancy, what I'm asking essentially today is if we can go ahead and overfill that position and essentially try to hire 2 new attorneys, knowing that once he is able to resign, that position has essentially already been filled. I suppose it is, as we've discussed previously, it is a small risk if he were to decide to come back. I suppose he could, but from everything that I've understood, he's not returning. He's moved down to Texas with his family and has accepted this full-time position. And quite honestly, it sounds like even if that were to not happen, he's going to continue to try to get more military assignments. Any questions with that?
Monty, what's the time frame to keep that position open? Military leave.
Sure, right, yeah. I had to look up there's the acronym for this form of leave. It's called USERRA, Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Right Act of 1994. So it entitles members of the armed forces to job-protected leave of up to 5 years,
Okay.
while we need to keep that position open while they're deployed to active duty. So,
Okay, thank you for that.
yep.
Mr. Chair, I'm just going to share my thoughts. I think it's appropriate for Kathy to go ahead and post for the immediate vacancy. Part of me says I would like to have full board contingency in regards to the discussion on the long-term one. Just out of respect for them, they're not here today, and so I don't know that that's something I'm necessarily comfortable making a decision on without their input, but that's my 2 cents.
I do know one commissioner had the same thoughts that you just brought up, and I would agree with that. I would agree with posting the new position with the one that's resonating, and then waiting till next month when all the commissioners are in, have a discussion about posting the one that's on military leave.
That sounds like a motion to
That would be a
to
motion.
table.
That would be a
Until-
motion,
Yeah, okay.
and then we would just table the other one till the next meeting, so that the rest of the board is here.
Should
And
be,
the other reason we ask is,
Go
of
ahead.
course, going through the entire process with Emily and Shannon, it takes a period of time. So we were hoping we could kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I think if you
October
find
7th. October 7th, yeah.
October 7th.
Yep.
I think between now and October 7th, if you find 2 good qualified people, that'll make a very good discussion for that board meeting.
So most likely it'd be posted for usually a minimum of at least 2 weeks, sometimes a month. So by the 7th, it's probably still going to be posted. In other words, you won't have made decisions about who you're going to invite in for interviews and so on and so forth. So there's still an opportunity, I guess, for the board to consider the second one at the
Second one
7th.
at that-
Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
at that
so,
point in
so what
time.
I'm hearing, Monty, then if the board chooses on the 7th, they add the second one, not a big deal.
That'd be fine, yeah. Because again, I can't feature it's going to close before the 7th. It isn't even posted yet. So you typically positions, especially, position this level would probably be open for
Probably
more than 2
3
weeks.
Yeah.
So that puts us past the 7th, so.
What I was hoping, though, is just to be able to list it as 2 different positions that would be open.
Yeah.
To get that much more.
But but I think you most likely you'll get multiple applicants, even though it lists one position, you'll get multiple candidates. And hopefully, if the board approves the second position, hopefully you'll have someone in that pool that's qualified.
Correct.
Second, yeah. So,
So, Mr. Chair, maybe if I could just clarify, your motion is to approve the immediate vacancy and then have discussion about the second one at our next board meeting.
Next board meeting, correct, yep.
And you seconded it, Commissioner Bryant?
Any other discussion?
I just have one more question. When do you expect to get an answer from this?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. It's been a great strain on the office.
It's been 2.5 years already, right, since he's been out? 2 years. I can understand the strain.
And now we're essentially losing another felony attorney, so we're gonna be in real dire straits here for a while. And we have been since I took over last July. We were down 3 attorneys. We finally got up to we were only down 1, and now we'll be down 2 again.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, I'm going to call the question because we don't need a roll call because it's only 3 of us. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. We'll have an answer next meeting for you, okay, Kathleen?
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I'll reconvene the regular board meeting and turn it over to the ditch chair,
All
board chair.
right. We'll call,
Recess, yep. Sorry, thank you for the termination.
call our County Ditch Authority meeting to order. We did have a prior roll call that should be taken care of already. There are consent agenda items here. I guess from my perspective, and I haven't talked to Chris yet, I had a short conversation with Beth. I'd like to pull all 4. I think there's additional conversation and we need to revisit the audio on some of these. I know that we all received an email yesterday that was questioning some of the minutes, so I think for now, and as you well know, having our minutes correct is important. So I'd like to pull all of those and move them to our next scheduled ditch meeting, which I'm not sure when that'll be, but
Yeah,
Seven.
we'll have topics to discuss at the next,
so if we could move all 4 of those items, please, to the October 7th meeting, that'd be great. Move on to the regular agenda. First item, update to the landowner request to keep a tree within CD 14's buffer strip. Chris?
Yeah, so if you recall, we had a discussion about this. This was part of the CD 14 repair project. The board or the Drainage Authority has adopted a policy that within the buffer strip, all trees be removed to that point of 16.5 feet from the top of the bank. This tree has remained. There was some discussion that this may be governed by a treaty between U.S. government and the tribes. So our drainage inspector has had some conversations with this individual, the landowner, where the tree lies, and then I'm going to turn it over to Adam to kind of recap the conversations that he's had with the landowner. So,
Morning, Adam.
Morning, thank you,
Morning.
commissioners. Yeah, like Chris said, we had this discussion, I believe, in our last meeting regarding this tree in the buffer strip. You guys tasked me with contacting that landowner and just making sure that they know that they would be responsible for any damages caused by this tree. And also, you guys suggested that if the property were to be sold or transferred in any way, that responsibility would be given to the next landowner. So basically, the update, this is just an informational thing. I called the landowner after the meeting and asked them, I was like, hey, is this something you would be okay with, having the responsibility of this? And verbally, they said, yes, that would be fine. So right now, I sent them a letter with this, just stating everything that I just said. And then on the next page, it's their signature and then Chris and I's signature here. As of today, I haven't received that letter back. I sent this probably a week ago, give or take. So right now, I'm waiting to hear that back. But like I said, I got a verbal confirmation that they would be okay with signing this. We just wanted to give you an update on where that was because we discussed it last meeting. So obviously, once I receive this letter back signed, if I don't receive in the next couple of days, I'll probably do a checkup, just call them and make sure they received it. And then hopefully by our next ditch meeting, I will have that letter signed, and then I can, basically, we will be good by then.
Adam, quick question. Do you happen to know, and I just thought of this now as I'm looking at it, is Pat the only one listed as the owner, or is her husband on it?
No, her husband is on it as well. The only reason I have Pat Johnson on here is because she was the one who came up to me. But like you said, maybe it would be more pertinent if both,
I mean,
Owners
Lord
were on
forbid
it.
something happens to Pat, but then she's the only one that signed it. I guess from my perspective, the landowners should be signing off on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the agreement's great. I'm glad that they're willing to do that and acknowledge the liability for that tree. So I think even after discussion with our attorneys, it's probably not worth the time and commitment it would take to check out a treaty from the 1800s to find out what's going on over one tree. So
No.
anyways, with that, I will move for approval of this with the contingency that both owners sign the agreement, please.
All right. And yeah, since I haven't received it back, it doesn't hurt to just send another letter with the update
Yeah,
with it. All it costs is postage, obviously, so.
right. So that's my
And I'll-
motion.
And I'll second that motion to it. And Mr. Chair, I agree with you. Both landowners should be signing that.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. Thank you for your
Aye.
work on that.
Thank you.
All right, move on to considering the petition for removal of property from Benton County ditch number 12.
All right. So we received a petition on September 2nd of 2025 from a landowner. These landowners were reviewed, and it is confirmed that these parcel IDs do exist in the benefited area of CD 12, and they are petitioning to be removed from the ditch system. So,
Excuse me, Chris, I interrupt you. They do not fit in there, or they do.
So right now, they are, as of the last redetermination of benefits,
Yep.
their parcel exists as a benefited landowner. Therefore, they are a valid petitioner, meaning they do have interest in the
Okay,
ditch system.
thank you.
But they're asking for the Drainage Authority to review it further and consider being removed from the system. So in accordance to Minnesota Statute 103E.805 and in consultation with our drainage attorney, the next step would be to set a public hearing on the petition, and then notification to all the benefited parties will be sent out. And then at that hearing, the Drainage Authority would have to consider the next course of action. So the action today before us is just to set the date and time and location of a public hearing. And I didn't get it included in the packet, but let's see if I can do this. I do have a drafted, there we go, form. How do I zoom out? Basically, this would be the official notice after being adopted today. So listed the parcel there, the address, and then once we determine the date and time of the hearing, this will become the official notice. And then I think Christine's office will have to send out letters to all of the existing benefited owners.
So Chris, have you and Christine and or Hannah had a chance to talk about the 4th or the 18th of November? That's the dates we threw out at the subcommittee. Do you have a suggestion on when you want to hold that hearing?
Yeah, either one would be fine, so.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, so when we send out new mailings and all that, that gets assessed to this ditch, gets added to this ditch, correct?
Yeah, the drainage attorney confirmed that the cost of the hearing is a cost to the system, so. And we
And-
had a meeting, and, because we had some discussion about whether posting in the newspaper was required, and did they say that it was not required? As long as mailings went out to all of the benefited parcels, we didn't have to post it in the official newspaper.
And we would post it on our website.
Yeah, we could do that because that's essentially no cost. But
So to Commissioner Heinen's point though, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I recall from the discussion, even hypothetically, if this property was removed, that landowner is responsible for any cost up until that point.
that's what I'm understanding, so.
So if this property was removed, it would remove them from any future costs,
Future.
but it doesn't remove them from prior costs.
Correct, so that the mailings and everything go out would be assessed to ditch 12 and these
And
landowners.
they're part of ditch 12
And
at
they're
at
part
that
of-
point,
Right.
so, okay.
And did you say November 4th or 8th?
Or 18th. The 4th or the 18th are two county board ditch authority meeting dates. I don't know, is there if you have a preference? Not at all? Okay,
No, the big thing is just to be allow staff time to draft letters and stuff, but if the 4th is sufficient time, we can.
okay, well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna move to hold a public hearing on November 4th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Or as soon thereafter as the schedule allows, and direct the auditor treasurer and drainage authority staff to send out notice by mail to the benefited landowners of CB 12 and to publish that notice on our Benton County Drainage Authority website.
And, excuse me, Mr. Chair, did you say 9 a.m.? Go ahead and publish it for
Yeah,
9
For
a.m.?
9 or thereafter, as we can
After,
get to it. Christine?
Can I mail this public notice with their invoice? Because I haven't sent that out on their maintenance invoice, just to save some postage.
I don't know why not. I think that'd make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. I would have to agree with that. That
Yeah.
would save a lot of, yeah, you're right, that would save postage and
Well, and
money on the
again,
ditch.
the assessment notice is something they're more than likely gonna open.
Yeah.
So anyways, we have a motion for that hearing date. We have a second. We
I'll
have a second.
that, yeah.
Any other discussion on that then for November 4th? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Very good.
Set. Any other items on ditch, Chris?
Not at this time.
All right, we'll adjourn our ditch authority meeting at 10:46 and turn it back to the county board chair.
We'll reconvene our county board, and it'll be commissioner meeting updates. Who wants to start?
I can
will.
start. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
All
sir.
right. So back on September 2nd, of course, we had our budget committee, the whole meeting. That was some very vigorous discussions, and I think we got to a spot where we can start and hopefully maybe even potentially lower. September 8th that evening, Commissioner Pop and I had an extension committee meeting here in the boardroom. 10th through the 11th, I was up at the AMC conference in Alexandria. On the 15th, I spoke of it a little earlier, we did have a ditch subcommittee meeting in regards to CD12 and this potential removal of property. And then last week, Chris and I had the privilege to be out in DC for a couple days and had a very good visit out there with our federal delegation, and I was pleasantly surprised and pleased with how that went. So thank you for allowing Chris and I to be able to go to that. I think it's important. The take on there again was, I can tell you that if you don't ask, you will not get. So that's kind of the bottom line point of that visit. And then that evening, we had our fall BCAP meeting down at the St. George Town Hall. So that's what I had. Thank you.
Commissioner Benoit?
I had, Minden and, City of St. Cloud Joint Powers Board meeting on the 3rd. And then on the 4th, I had, Council of Minnesota Aging and RSVP meetings. I had a city council meeting on the 8th, and then a township meeting on the 9th, again, AMC, fall conference 10th through the 12th. A career solutions, and the RSVP chili cook-off, and that BCAP for the township.
How was the chili cook-off?
Yeah.
It was really good.
Good.
They actually had like 5 different, because you have to be licensed to enter it.
Oh, okay.
So like they had, like your, Sauk Rapids, nursing home, brought some in.
Okay.
And there was different.
Was there any of what I would call white chili?
Yes,
Okay.
chicken chili.
Chicken chili, okay.
White chicken chili.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
There was.
I actually do like that.
And they were.
It's good.
and
Support those
honestly,
chicken
they-
farmers.
They were all good. And they had also, they had a wine pool there.
Oh.
And they also had a silent auction there
Nice.
to help raise money for that too.
Okay.
So, and it looked like to me when I was there, that they had a pretty good turnout. I haven't gotten final numbers yet.
Okay.
Hey,
I
that
do,
it?
I do, that's it, but I do have a question. I did receive an email back from Troy. Am I able to at this time?
Should we do
This
it
is
under
cut off.
commissioner,
Can't.
Concerns?
yeah, let's do it on
Okay.
commissioner concerns,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Nope, that's fine.
Okay.
Can you write on there the
I
date,
was on
time?
vacation
and
out in
I'll
the
go to
wilderness,
the next one,
and
right?
I had to drive
Date,
an
time,
hour
and place, all right.
to get service to do a career solutions meeting last Thursday. And I did get cut out because I had to be the third person there.
Oh,
which
needed a
was
quorum,
really
huh?
nice. Needed it, yep. So they had me for 45 minutes before my service went.
But it went perfect.
It did. We got everything done that we needed to do. I let them know ahead of time that I'm very limited on service and it will go. So I was watching it on my phone, went from 3 bars to 2 bars over the clouds, and poof,
That was it?
was the end of it. But we managed to get everything taken care of. And then I had a Regional 3 meeting yesterday, just nothing informal. So, and that's all I had.
Well, thank you for sending the photo of your elk.
Well, you know,
There's a little bit
people-
of proof in the pudding. I was trying to see if it was photoshopped in there or
Oh,
not, but
well,
I'm gonna
no.
trust you that it was real.
Well, you know, it's got the date and the time and everything on it.
You know
You
what
know-
would really satisfy it, Steve?
I know, but I forgot to bring some today.
Okay.
So I'll put it on my agenda here to.
We got around
next
you a
time.
little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, great. Comments, commissioners, meetings and concerns? Go ahead.
So in the meeting, we brought up the $70
Yep.
per day.
75, yep.
75 per day for the joint powers. The email I received, and I think Monty was copied on it too,
Yes.
from Troy, was the research, the numbers were calculated for the per diem cost for inmates in the jail. And he says, I must apologize for giving you an inaccurate information in the meeting. I found the calculation we made based on the 2024 numbers and discovered our estimate is that we encounter $103 per
Yep.
inmate per day. A report from the Minnesota Department of Corrections calculates per diem costs for all jails in Minnesota, placing their estimate for our facility at 119 per inmate per day.
Wow.
So I guess
Thank you.
if the state's estimating at
119.
119, why are they coming back with a
Seven.
joint P of 75?
Correct.
Good question.
That's a very good question.
How long was that joint powers agreement good for? 1 year?
I don't know. I don't recall. Seems like Troy brings it every year.
Yeah.
It seems like an annual thing, you know.
This is another conversation to have with Sheriff Troy Heck.
Well, and unfortunately, he doesn't set that $75 by the state.
No, but if the
Right.
state is telling us 119, why didn't they set it for 119 instead of 75?
Right.
I suppose the consequence is you might not get any state inmates boarded in your jail, and then you'd lose all the revenue. So,
Probably,
yeah.
probably.
State's got it figured out.
Yeah, they do. Okay, well, with that, we'll, do we have anything else in front of us?
Committees of the whole.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess we do have that. Okay.
I know there's been interest in possibly folks attending the St. Cloud Regional Airport Authority meeting on September 25th. That's when they're going to set their budget and levy themselves. That's at 3 p.m. September 25th in the airport conference room, the Regional Airport Authority meeting, if you're interested. Another cow is the legislative bonding tour visit to St. Cloud. That is also on the 25th at 2 o'clock. Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. The state legislative bonding tour. And September 25th, 2 p.m. Herb Brooks National Hockey. I believe Chris has been coordinating that with you all.
Correct, with myself, and Commissioner Gopinski did say he'll be here. because I asked him that this morning. Because we've been, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if I could review that with you when our meeting's done quick, that'd be great.
Okay, all right.
You're good. Okay, sounds great. The next AMC District 5 meeting is Monday, October 20th at Kanabec County, the County Jail Training Room in Mora. October 20th, that's a Monday at 8 a.m. The AMC District 5 fall meeting. You are invited to the Career Solutions annual meeting. That is on Thursday, October 9th, 3 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at 3 p.m. That's at Career Solutions Facilities on, I believe that's in St. Cloud Tech College on Northway Drive.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yep. And what they do at that meeting is they have a panel of 5 individuals that went through.
Yeah.
And they give testimony of how. it
Talk about their
impacted them.
experiences, right? Yeah. It's an annual event that they've been doing for a long time. Yep.
It's very well attended.
And lastly, I believe Chris Bird asked you to set a committee of the whole to discuss local option sales tax, et cetera, et cetera. So, Chris, do you have a preferred date for this committee of the whole? And maybe also too, how soon must it occur? I mean, how urgent is it that you get this matter resolved?
I mean, I don't know how urgent it is. This is just
Yeah.
over and when we hire outside help. So, do we already have a committee of the whole where commissioners are coming in that we could attach to it?
Yeah, let me see if I've got one on here listed. That might be a good candidate for that, Chris.
I think that was in
I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry, I do not see something that would be a good candidate for that, Chris, to combine it with something existing. I do not, so
that either.
it may have to be its own subject.
How,
Okay.
just throwing this out there, how about after our board meeting on the 21st?
Of October?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, if you're okay sticking around longer, we could just have a cow then, yeah. That works for me. that day.
7th, you said the 7th or the 21st?
21st. Mostly because there's employee forum first on the 7th.
Oh,
yes, yeah. And we'll send out a reminder email on that one on the 7th, right? Yeah.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I would have to agree with that. Let's
Make
just
for a
do
pretty
it-
long day, yeah.
Let's just do it right away after that meeting.
After the
On the
21st. And if
21st.
for some reason we get a filled up agenda and a big ditch authority meeting, which I don't think we will,
Right,
because that's coming in November.
yeah.
And that is all we have, sir.
I have a question. Tonight's meeting, who's planning on attending tonight's meeting?
Oh, good.
This is the
Uh,
Kashat
That is not listed on a.
29 open house. It is the Kashat 29 open house, extension
Correct.
open
So
house.
Jarrett will not be there tonight, and I will be there because I'm part of this.
I guess I didn't know
time.
about that.
It's just
So
an
I
open.
just need to, it's not on our committee of the whole, and I need to know, cause I've had a couple of people from my district call me about that 29 one.
Okay.
And so I need to know if I can attend or if I cannot attend.
Yes, you can attend, because Commissioner Gopinski will not be.
So it'd be Commissioner
won't be-
Benoit, Commissioner Heinen will be attending. Okay.
I won't be there either. and
Okay.
I doubt Ed's sick,
And
so.
Ed's
There you-
sick.
So we should be
Okay.
good. We should be good. Thank you
Okay.
for bringing that
That's
up.
what I wanted to know.
Yep.
Good.
You're good.
That's all the cows we have, Mr. Chair, for you all to
approve
set.
the cows, Mr. Chair.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.